I always have my mic completely off whenever I start these things. Testing. Can you guys hear me? Isnib, Lee, Michelle.
I can hear you perfectly,
Okay,
sir.
perfectly. You guys weren't
Yep,
saying
totally.
anything. Hey, everybody. I just want to check in the comments. Let me know if you hear everyone decently. Look at all you beautiful people. Exactly. Once I get a confirmation from like Steph or anyone in the comments that we're doing fine, you hear, okay, beautiful, beautiful. With that, I will have to say, welcome everybody to the podcast episode. Gosh, I don't know how long I've been doing this, but I have a bit of a headache. I think it's like episode 6 or 7. Today we have a very special episode. We got people from overseas here with us tonight, and I've been waiting to do this episode for months. So welcome to the show, Isnib, Ingle Doom, Lee, and Stellar Michelle. Let's go with a little bit of introductions, if we don't mind. Some of you guys I'm meeting mostly today because I asked you guys to bring friends. So
This is true.
yes, I guess let's start off with Isnib. Would you like to give a small?
Certainly, Pocket. Thank you. Well, thank you very much for having us.
Thank you for being here.
Greatly appreciated. I think we're all pleased to be here. Hello to everyone in chat. Anyone who doesn't know, my name's Isnib. You can call me Richard if you prefer. Most people call me Is or Izzy. It's not a problem either way. I'm a variety streamer. That's what they call it, isn't it? I started streaming back in September. Won't go into the details about why. We'll save that story for another day. I have played through the Resident Evil series. We are halfway through the Final Fantasy series. And I'm playing Borderlands with my good friends Steph Babies and Casual Merle on a Saturday. I'm excited about the future of my own stream and the community as a whole. There you go. I think that covers it.
And Isnib, you can choose who you would like to go next.
It's got to be Ingle Doom.
It's gonna be Ingle Doom. I assumed it was gonna be Ingle Doom.
Well,
One of my
thank you,
favorite
Isnab.
people.
I appreciate that. Oh man, you're one of my favorite people. Oh shit! Just punched my mic. My mic is obviously not my favorite thing. But hi, my name is Ingle Doom. I am also a streamer of the variety type. I like a lot of retro games. I start a lot of games. I finish few. I like to hang out, and I like to have a safe and positive place to hang out. I like a cool, just nice vibe going forward. I also stream for the CR Game Room. I do retro streams and follower requests on Mondays. So that's a lot of fun. That's also a great group of guys. And again, I am also looking forward to the future of things going forward with the community. So I'm very community oriented. I love to support anybody I possibly can and try to spread as much positivity as I can.
Sounds like me as well, especially the not completing games thing. One of the reasons I started streaming was because of that. Like,
You tried, Pocket.
I did try. I did give it my all. Would you like to choose who goes next? If not, we'll just default to Lee.
No, I was going to choose Lee. So there you go.
Hi. Hi, I'm Leadipus, and this is Barry. Barry is the streamer, and I'm just the puppet that he controls. That's kind of the thing. That's how we work. Much like the others, I'm a variety streamer, mostly focusing on retro games. Vast assortment of games that we play through. Similarly, I started streaming to finish games because I had a thing about not finishing games when I was growing up. I didn't want them to end, particularly storyline-driven games. And so streaming has actually, that's worked for me. And as I've been streaming, there hasn't been a game yet that we've started that we haven't finished. So
I
fingers
feel you
crossed
there.
that will continue.
I was like, that TV
Definitely.
shows.
Respect.
Yeah,
I'm
absolutely.
gonna hold you to that, Lee.
Well, yeah, and that's including some pretty horrific games like original Legend of Zelda 2, Metroid on the
no.
NES. We've played some real horribly hard games, and we've gone through till the end. God damn it! So
Nice,
that's
nice.
kind of that's what we've been doing. So yeah, that's a little bit about me.
And like, you know, I've been to your channel, and you'll go on a random day and be like, yeah, I'm gonna complete all Donkey Kong Country games in a speed run, and like, yeah, it's just like one day he just goes and you complete all 3 in a couple hours or something.
Yeah, I mean, those that was a special day. The Donkey Kong Country games were games that I did finish growing up. They were one of the only games that I finished growing up. So when it got to New Year's Day, I was like, New Year, old me. Let's play all of the old Donkey Kong Country games, and we bashed through them all in about 5.5 hours, which wasn't bad for
Crazy.
the original 3.
Whoa.
Yeah, all
dude.
3 games in 5.5
Respect.
hours. Like, yeah, you definitely have some
Yeah.
skill there.
Hashtag not a speedrunner.
Not a speedrunner, right? Yet.
Mm.
Bring back the speedrunner cut. Michelle, would you like to give a little piece of
Sure.
yours?
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.
So hello everyone. My name is Stellar Michelle on Twitter. Twitch, not Twitter. On Twitter, I'm Stellar90. So I started originally streaming technically back in 2017, but I didn't really go anywhere with that. It's a very long story. I started up again in January, and I mainly play puzzle games. So if you like puzzle games, watching me stare at the same puzzle for like 30 minutes and not figuring it out and like screaming at your screen and being like, why the hell aren't you figuring this out? Then come check me out. Tuesdays, I play Nancy Drew games, the Nancy Drew PC games from when I was a kid. So that's Nancy Tuesdays. Wednesday is Witness Wednesdays, and I play the Witness Expert Randomizer mod with someone from the Witness community. So I
Ooh.
have a guest on my show from the community, and we play the puzzle on like we play the game on like really hard mode. And that's been really fun. I've really enjoyed doing that with the community. Other than that, the game I'm currently playing, I'm playing through the Talos Principle DLC right now. I played through the Talos Principle back in January, February-ish. But right now, I'm doing the DLC, and it's so much harder.
Aw.
Oh my god, it's so
Yeah,
much
but
harder.
all those games are, I don't know, they're supposed to be really good, especially Witness.
Oh
I
yeah.
only played through the beginning of it.
The Witness is my favorite game.
Really?
It's so good. Yeah. I mean, we
You're
kind of
walking
have
around
a
the
cult.
garden. Like what? Yeah, I
Oh,
guess
no,
it's
it's more than that.
it's
You
more
don't
than
get
that.
it. You don't get it.
You don't
No,
get it.
it's
I
more than
definitely
that.
don't. I definitely don't. I need to get a PS4
Yeah.
already. Absolutely lovely. We all know why we're here today. We're here to talk about gaming news and geek out. So I figured the first story, of course, is that the new Tiny Tim documentary has a trailer. No. The first thing I would say we should speak about.
I was drawing up. I was like, what is
No,
going
no,
on?
no,
This
no,
is.
no.
I am
You're talking
unprepared.
about the guy with the ukulele, right?
Yeah, he's the guy. He's the guy who you hear on
Yeah.
like SpongeBob.
I would
he's-
totally watch that.
I know. I'm totally in on that.
Yeah.
But no, we're here to talk video games. So today, I thought I'd throw them a curveball. But there's two things. There's Minecraft being delayed, and there's the Nintendo Indie Direct. I assume let's start with the Indie Direct because most of you guys probably have seen that. I don't know, maybe not. Some of you guys might be PlayStation people, but
No, I'm a Nintendo girl.
okay. Did you see the Indie Direct? No. There you go. There you go.
But I'm a Nintendo girl.
Have any of you guys played Oxenfree? Because I think that
Yes.
was
No.
because that
Yes,
was the
I have
big
actually.
that was the big reveal, I believe. At the end of the Indie Direct this week, the Oxenfree 2 trailer.
Oh, okay.
Like,
Ironically, I played that on PlayStation, but yes.
yes.
Damn it, Lee.
I played on Xbox. I'm
So-
sorry to say.
Damn it is.
So my initial impressions of the Indie Direct was there was a lot of story-driven games, a lot of indie games that were either story-driven or they were like endless. There was like one or two that were endless runners, and then we got the Ninja Turtles game, which our buddies Normcore and Steph Babies are very very excited about. And then we had this secret trailer after they said the show was over for Oxenfree 2. For people here who don't know Oxenfree, you want to give your small take on it, Lee?
Okay, so Oxenfree, if I'm remembering rightly, Oxenfree is kind of 2.5D-esque indie puzzle narrative game. I say puzzle, that the puzzle, there aren't really that many puzzles in it. It is more a narrative flow, and the story changes based on the locations you go to and the conversations you have with your friends. My understanding, it was a long time ago when I played it, but my memory of it is you go to an island. I think it's like a yay summer vacation with my friends thing, and then it goes horribly wrong and you get to the island and it's deserted. And it kind of suggests kind of towards supernatural / alien technology, and this kind of storyline as it develops, there's a little bit of kind of spiritual possession that goes on as well, and the story kind of develops from there, and you're working your way through. The clever thing with the game, and again, correct me if I'm wrong here because it has been a while. The clever thing with the game is if you don't get the true ending, it loops, and I think by my understanding, you can't get the true ending your first playthrough, so it loops back, and
Wow.
the overarching idea behind the game is you've got to break the cycle of looping back. That's kind of how you win the game, which I
Wow.
didn't do. I played it through twice and was like,
Yeah.
I'm done with this now. But it was definitely like the soundtrack's wonderful. The artwork is
It
fantastic.
has a real aesthetic to it. It has a real feel.
Absolutely. Yeah,
And
it
it's
really
just, like,
drags you in.
Little guys on screen, right? Because it's pretty zoomed out from the bits I've played and seen, right? And dialogue boxes, and then you have like it shows like the radio, and you're dialing the different frequencies on the radio, and it just like has this real mood of feeling small. I don't know.
That's really cool. I love the art style too. I've never seen it before until now, but I looked it up and yeah, it looks magnificent.
Yeah, I really wish I had a chance to beat it myself. I've only got a chance to play a bit of it, but man, someday.
But the rest of the games they pocket.
What?
Like the rest of the games.
I know there's so many games, and I invest too much
Yeah.
time in stuff like Minecraft, which is the other thing that I was going to say after the Indie Direct stuff. By the way, guys, if you happen to have questions, type them below in the chat, or there's a place in the Discord directly for questions to get to us. So feel free to write them. We will answer all of your questions, like, who would win 100 horse-sized ducks or duck-sized horses. We are here. So since some of you guys have not seen the Indie Direct, the next bit of news was that Minecraft's new update, Caves and Cliffs, was delayed, and they're going to split into 2 different parts. So they're going to release, I believe it's the new mobs in the part that's going to be released sooner, and then the bulk of it, the meat of it, with like the changes to procedural generation, is going to be released in the holidays. So I believe winter. So what about you guys in terms of Minecraft? Have you guys what has your experience been specifically, I guess, with Minecraft itself?
I loved Minecraft when I played it several years ago. Probably played it like
Java edition?
for 30. I don't know. It
Yeah.
was the version on the Xbox 360, whichever version that is.
Right, gotcha. Yeah.
And I probably played it with my brother for like 30 hours or so over a weekend. Absolutely loved it. Well into it. And then I kind of got to a point where I was like, okay, I've got what I'm going to get out of this game.
Yeah.
Let's move on, because it's kind of like an infinite game, isn't it? You could just play it
It's-
for the end of
Right.
time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
forever.
Like what I've noticed with Minecraft is it's a game where you gotta have a goal. If you don't have a goal, then it's because the game itself, like the only real goal in it is to go and defeat the dragon. There's a
Yeah.
dragon, you have to figure out a way to find it, to slay it. You can do that very quickly, or it keeps things very open ended, so you can even get bored on the way to do that. So doing things like our channel created the Great Deku Tree inside of Minecraft,
Ooh.
Nice.
and I have a bunch of people in a server, and they create all of these random things. But you bring someone in, and they're like, I don't get it. Like I've got an axe, I can chop down some trees. What's the point of this all? So, Michelle, have you delved into Minecraft? Oh yeah. Oh, here we go.
Yeah. So first of all, I have a huge fear of spiders. So,
Ooh,
I tried
modded
to
it.
play. No, so I just put it on peaceful eventually because I don't really care so much about um, the fighting, the combat, and everything.
Yeah.
I really like the exploration. So what I would do is I would get high and explore caves. And
That's why we need this
Sounds like a good
update.
time. Really
I
good.
know, so that's why I was really excited for this update. I haven't played in a while, but
It's-
I literally would just go through caves and explore every last little bit of corner. And then, like, when I would come across the mine shafts and everything, oh my gosh, that's the best.
That's the best. You
Oh.
got all the loot.
Oh
get
my
all-
god. And I would put like and I would like, oh my, I'm just like going back down memory
I
lane
know.
here.
Now you're making me want to play it on Tuesday.
I would go and I would like block off as soon as I found like everything in a certain area, I would wall that off so I know I wouldn't go back into that area.
Yeah. You have to mark
Um,
everything.
Exactly. And then every once in a while I would go into like, because I would play with cheats enabled, not like just so
Sure.
that I could go into like
Fly and stuff,
the
or
yeah, exactly. And so I would go and I would check like how far, and I would put torches along the wall so I could see what caves I had explored and what caves I hadn't. So then I would go
Yes.
into like fly mode, and then I would see okay, well, there's a whole bunch of caves I haven't explored, but holy crap, look at all those caves that I have explored. Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah. Now I want to play Minecraft, damn it.
Yeah, I know,
I'm
right?
really glad you mentioned the spiders, because I was thinking before tonight, I was thinking, I know that we're going to talk about Minecraft, and I was thinking, can we just stop pretending that Minecraft isn't a horror game, please? Because that is
Yeah.
terrifying.
Oh yeah.
Like, I know it's it's a kid's game, but let's dial this back. If you're in a cave and you've got no torches and there are spiders and creepers, and no, you don't want to be
Yeah.
there. It's terrifying.
Oh,
Like,
no.
this is a horrible game.
They literally have like Slendermen in the game.
Yeah, the Endermen.
The
Straight out of a
Endermen.
nightmare.
Right.
They're
Yeah.
not disguising it.
You don't want to do that when you're high. I'm sorry. No. So just peaceful, please, and thank you. Like,
Yeah.
No, I just recently started playing Minecraft with my son. He has it on the Switch and I have it on the PC, and he
Yeah.
thinks it's the coolest thing ever to be able to play in the same world together. So no, please no. Yeah, I've just been having a lot of fun. His favorite thing right now is I like going into caves too, and of course it's just on creative mode and peaceful mode, so there's nothing
Okay.
out there. So our favorite thing is now it's just laying a bunch of TNT down there and seeing how far we can keep on digging down.
Oh,
so
man.
he's setting up lanterns as he just keeps on setting up dynamite, and we're going further and further.
Oh, you
And
have
I'm trying to make tunnels as we're going so we can get back up.
You have to
But
videotape
it's
the explosion. That sounds amazing.
Well,
like-
there's a couple of times he's like, it's not a good explosion unless the Switch lags.
Yeah. I can only imagine. And yeah, I don't play on peaceful. I play not hardcore. I was gonna say I play hardcore, but no, there's an actual mode called hardcore. No, I play, survival, just so I can feel a little bit better about myself, right? Like, it's not a hard game. It's not like if you die, you come back immediately.
you lose all your stuff.
You lose all your stuff for
Oh, do
5
you?
minutes, and then you go back and get it. Also,
What if you're far away from
Hey.
your spawn point though?
I don't
Well, that you
I don't
got
want to go
time.
back there. There were spiders that just ate me. I'm not going back. Like,
Yeah.
who do you think I am? Come on.
Yeah.
Either.
Yeah, it's only some rock
Thank you,
and
Lee,
wood
thank you.
and things. Torches. Don't worry about it.
you have to run and kill them and then die, and then come back and kill them a second time within the 10 minutes that it takes
Yeah,
for your
I'm
stuff
not
to
gonna
go
remember where I was.
away. That's what
So
the torches are for. So you always
Yeah,
have
but
to-
remember,
That's what my
Stella's
husband
high.
says.
Stella's
Yeah,
high, so she can't
exactly.
remember anything right
That's
now.
what my husband says. He says, put the torches on the left so you'll know which way you came in.
Exactly.
And I'm going
makes
around going,
sense.
torch, 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 torch.
Oh,
and I'm
no.
like, where am I?
Yeah. Gosh. Yeah.
I think there's a testament to Minecraft in the fact that it's still releasing DLC, the fact that it's been going for so long and it's still so popular. Like,
Right.
I can't think of another game that's been going for as long as Minecraft was, that's not releasing new games. It's the same base game and it's still releasing DLC and it's still popular and it's still news. Like, there's a
I
real
might
credit to
have
Minecraft
one.
there.
I might have one game, and
Go
it's
on.
kind of weird. Well, I mean, around that time, you did have stuff like World of Warcraft, but that's not what I was going to go with. I was going to go with something like Tetris.
Oh, there
Because
you go. Yeah.
so both Tetris and Minecraft are fascinating to me because they were both in their earliest versions made by a single person. They're both the highest selling game of all time. Like, they're both like all these weird things that coincide, and by one-man teams initially, right? The first version of Tetris, I think, was made on like a graphing calculator or something. Like that's not the version we're talking about. The NES Tetris is
right.
the one that took off. The Game Boy Tetris is the one that took off.
The Game Boy, yeah.
Yeah.
Everywhere with that, but I know a friend of mine's mom who still probably plays that same old Game Boy with that same old cartridge.
Yeah.
And
it
If
still
it's not
works.
broke, don't fix it.
But
You know.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Exactly,
If it works, it works.
And they,
Mhm.
yeah, it was actually something that we were talking about last week. It was me, someone, and someone else, and we were 3 generations of gaming. We all played different things growing up, but it was the person who was the oldest of us was talking about like the oldest consoles there are. So we're talking Commodore 64. We're talking probably things.
Ataris.
Well, Atari
Yeah,
would be like
Atari.
right after that, I think, right? I'm totally gonna make a gaff here. Here I go. But the point was that we were talking about it, and he's like, and we're like, oh man, like it's all those interesting games that we missed, and he's like, no, those were bad. Those were bad. But we were talking
some
about
of those older games, though. I
Yeah.
still have a fond memory for those older games.
yeah, and he's like, people have fond memories of them, but they weren't that great. And my response was, but some of them were, or some aspects of them were that continue to today, or things like Pac-Man, because Pac-Man 99 had come out last week.
Mhm.
And so like Pac-Man 99 and Tetris 99, they're not changing those games so much to make them a battle royale, and suddenly it's this fresh thing.
It's the simplicity of it, I think, in my opinion, of those games. Like even back in the day with like the old arcades and stuff like that, you were packing everybody into those arcades because the games were simple. You had like Pac-Man, you had Donkey Kong and stuff like that. I mean, you had everybody. You had moms coming in and playing. Your mailman was playing Pac-Man if you saw the machine right there. It's just the simplicity of those games that just grab people and make you want to play. And I think that just keeps on carrying on to every generation if you're just making it faster or more blips or making it look better or whatnot. No, but the base game's never going to change.
Yeah,
And that's what's really awesome about it.
and
That's what makes
it's
them
like a
timeless.
perfect formula. And Lee, you were going to say something?
I'm sorry.
I was, but it's. Oh no, I was going to say that it works. I've remembered. I've forgotten because I was reading chat, but now I'm back.
Yeah.
So
it's still on Switch only.
It can also work backwards. It can work against a game. So if we think about games like DK64, where they put the old school Donkey Kong in as a requirement to get all the collectibles, and specifically in my head, there's a game. It's not very well known, but there's a game that I had on Commodore 64
Oh.
called WizKid, and it was a follow-on from a game called WizBall. And it was really, really good, really unique. I am aiming to play it on stream if I can get it working because it's
Yeah.
so old. Trying to get it working on
I'm
stream
sure
would be
you
really
could find
difficult.
like an emulator in a
Um,
browser.
Yeah, absolutely. But the problem with that game is I didn't know until much later, say probably about 7 years ago or so, when I played it through as an adult and I actually got to the end. The end of the game is kind of gate kept behind having to win a game of asteroids with a certain score. Now,
What?
asteroids, we know old school asteroids where you're the ship in the middle, yeah, and that has not aged well, like at all. And I think some game developers can still get it wrong. Like again, DK64 and putting the original Donkey Kong in that game.
Yeah.
It can hold the gatekeeping that game by having to go through that retro section that might not be for every gamer can actually be a bit of an issue, I think.
Oh man. And no man, thank you again for stuff. The question in the chat, by the way, is Tetris 99 still only on Switch? Yes, it is only on Switch. For whatever reason, it's part of the Nintendo Online, and they have Pac-Man 99. Yes. It was released like last week. Lee,
They didn't replace one with the other, did they? I haven't checked, so I
They
don't know.
replaced Mario 35 with it.
With Pac-Man 99.
Yes. So that definitely was. They brought in Mario Battle Royale for just like a tiny bit, and then out of nowhere, it's just gone. And I don't know, because these Battle Royale games are very interesting, and I don't want to see them have a lifespan of 6 months, even though I didn't really like Mario 35. And
Mm.
to
I think
yeah.
Tetris 99 works brilliantly. It's so fun.
I think Pac-Man
'cause it just
99
puts
is
that.
better. I don't know. Have any of you
Oh,
guys
do
tried
you?
that?
I've not played it yet.
I
I've not played it yet.
I'm not a huge Tetris guy. I'm just not that great. That Tetris has never clicked for me. But Pac-Man, I'm half decent at. So I did try it on a stream, and I did get like #1 in one
Nice.
round. Yeah, it's wildly addicting, and it just happens to be like, I don't know. It's something that clicks with me more than Tetris 99 and Mario 35 as well. Was kind of weird because you had so many different levels. The balance in it was kind of weird because you could go into a level and it's easy platforming because you're in level 1-1. Meanwhile, like 5 minutes later, you're in 1-9 while someone else is back at 1-1, and they're having an easier time than you are just because they're in a different level. I don't know. That was weird for me. That was weird.
No, I agree. I think the execution of Mario 35 wasn't very good. There was definitely some problems with it.
But it was quirky. It was just such a cool experiment. Yeah, and those, and like you were saying, Lee, with those games with being hidden inside of other games, that was also a thing we talked about last week because there was the Time Splitters 2, I think, was in some game. I forget. It was hidden. It wasn't a requirement. But the entirety of this other game that was a PC game was hidden inside of a different, I guess, PC game. Yeah. Have any of you guys played any of those other battle royales as well?
I don't like
No.
playing with people.
You don't like playing
Yeah.
with people? Well, this is the type of thing where you play against the people and you murder a bunch of people at once.
No,
Oh,
I don't like
co-op,
that because
not
people
versus.
are mean.
People are mean. You could be.
Yeah,
that
I like
I just
person.
don't like it when people are better than me. That just upsets me, you know. It's better
Yeah.
I just don't do people.
Exactly. Yeah, Lee understands me.
Yeah. I guess in that vein, I have to ask: have any of you guys played Fortnite itself? That whole bag of worms.
No.
Honestly, never
I'm-
played Fortnite.
No, I've never played
I-
any of those. The last thing I played that was like that was TF2.
Yeah, TF2.
Like,
Yeah,
I played
Counter-Strike,
Fortnite
right?
twice. I played 2 games of Fortnite,
Okay.
and the first game of Fortnite I ever played, I came second. And I'll tell you how I came second. I hid in a basement the entire
Yes.
game,
That's the thing.
and then I came out at the end, and I got
Job
sniped.
done.
And I thought, if I can come second the first time
You
I play
can.
this game, it's not a good game. It's not a good game, in my opinion. And then I played it one more time. I think made it to about 60 something, and I was like, yeah, this isn't for me. And then I never went back.
Yeah, I'm
was
a
good.
sucker. I happen to be a sucker for like free in-game things, especially when they have or cheap in-game things. So they had like an entire 6-month period where the entire game was modded to be Marvel themed. So you'd get Iron Man, you'd be able to play as Groot and have Rocket Raccoon on your back, and it was all these cool things. I was like, okay, I'll try it out then, and I ended up getting hooked. But mostly for the reason of there's these random in-game things that you can earn. But that's what every phone game is, right? That's
Mm.
all of these microtransaction games are all about that.
Stay away from them, Pocket.
I know,
Stay
I
away
know.
from them.
It's,
Easier said than done.
yeah. Though I have a rule of never playing on stream, but it is very interesting seeing the battle royale genre expanded.
Mhm.
And I don't know if there's many other games that do take the battle royale genre and bring it to, well, there obviously are other games, but none of them end up being big. Like even the Game Grumps came out with their own battle royale Super Mario 35 type game, and I've played that one. I enjoyed that one, but I mean, I guess you guys probably don't know of any battle royale, whatever the
How
word
many
is.
players? How many
Apex
players do you
and,
need to be considered a battle royale game? How many players before it's just not a online multiplayer, but it's a battle royale? How many?
I think it's more just the one versus a certain amount. So I would say
yeah,
like,
isn't it like one comes out, like many go in, one come out
Yeah.
type thing?
so Mario 35 would be the easiest example where it's 35 but
Mm.
one comes out.
So, yeah, because
So-
I kind of like Dead by Daylight and Friday the 13th kind of games like that, where you have like a group of you and they're kind of like a hide and seek type of game.
Right, so those are hide and
like
seek, but those
those.
those are asymmetric.
No,
Those aren't
no,
the
I'm
one
just
versus
no good at competitive shooters. I'm just
Yeah.
I don't I like co-op, not versus.
Yeah, me too.
I like co-op. There's only one game I'm good at, which is Smash Brothers. Aside from that, every other game I'm trash with.
It's, I get the impression, Pocket, like Smash Brothers is like your go-to game.
I mean,
Is that right? Along with Minecraft.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of is. It was when I was gonna start streaming. I was like, I'm gonna stream Smash Brothers. And mind you, when I say I'm good at it, I'm worse than everyone else in the comments, right? Because I'm like top 3%, which means that everyone in the comments is better. Like that is a whole 3%. What is the game that you are?
Smash.
You're not good at Smash. What is the game that you are the best with, Lee?
What, a multiplayer game? A multiplayer
No,
game?
any
I'm the best
game,
with?
any game.
Oh,
I think that's a fun question.
I would
to
go.
around with.
I think naturally, I'd say platforming games. Probably from the whole Donkey Kong Country stuff.
Yeah.
Is that naturally I throw myself into platforming games, which I know that a lot of other people now can find quite dated or a little bit frustrating.
Yeah.
But I particularly moving because on Saturdays I play games that I completed as a child. So I've been playing a lot of old platforming Super Nintendo and Nintendo 64 games. And what's really interesting is having to recalibrate yourself to the platforming mechanics of different platforming
The
games.
collision detection sucks.
Absolutely. And that's really interesting, particularly if you're playing like an older game and then you play a slightly newer game and then a slightly newer game and a newer game, and you can see the evolution of platforming mechanics. And it's really nerdy to say, but it's fantastic fun just to be like, oh, like Conker's Bad Fur Day. When I played, because I never played that as a youth, but when I
Yeah.
played that on stream, that took me probably about an hour and a half before I understood how the jump mechanics worked. And it was an hour and a half of me jumping down holes on repeat, and it was probably terribly boring to watch, but it was fascinating for me that I just couldn't land this bloody jump. It was insane. So I think that's platforming games are probably where I'd go with what I'm most naturally best at.
For sure, for sure. How about any others? Ingle?
For me, it's an arcade game called Black Tiger.
Black
I
Tiger,
grew up
okay,
with this
Googling
game.
this.
Oh yeah, actually, you'll probably come up with Ready Player One reference too, because it's predominant in the book Ready Player One. But when I was a kid, I grew up in a small town, and I had like a 6-lane bowling alley. And this one particular arcade game called Black Tiger, I was able to conquer that with 1 credit. I can do a 1 credit run of it, and I've done it twice. I've done it once on the game room, and I've done it once on my channel.
It looks, yeah, this looks
right
like
now-
that's a platforming. This looks like a game that would eat up all my quarters because it's like platforming Ghost and Goblins esque, like everything.
And I
on
love
screen.
Ghost and Goblins.
Oh, I hate Ghosts and Goblins. So you have to be good. See, these people are talking. They're like, "Oh, I don't like playing against people because they're better than me." Meanwhile, they're playing the hardest games ever. That's really impressive. Like you've been Ghosts and Goblins, I assume. I could never get past like
Super
level
Ghouls
1.
and Ghosts actually on the Super Nintendo, Super NES. I've got
Right.
through the first playthrough, but not the second yet on
Oh,
stream.
not
but,
the second yet. Yeah.
Yeah, because that's what Ghosts and Goblins in. You get through it the first time, and it trolls you and goes, "Oh no, you want to go ahead and go through it all over again, be harder, and you have to have this specific weapon if you want to beat me."
Yeah. Like
So have
what?
fun.
Yeah, exactly. The specific weapon. Oh man.
But yeah, Black Tiger was one of those ones I just kept on playing and playing until I could finally. I didn't have a lot growing up, so I plopped 1 quarter in there, and for 45 minutes I was in heaven,
Yeah, there you
and
go.
I could get to the end of the game.
And it seems like Castlevania-esque. I mean, it looks like you have some sort of chain thing.
Oh yeah, that's one of the things I love because like my first games for the NES were Castlevania and Castlevania 2.
Yeah.
So when I started playing, it was just like it's like Castlevania, but it has these awesome graphics and it's so cool and there's hidden items. And so now
that's
I'm after the
awesome.
high score if I can get up there. So my best score was my last best run, which was 725,000,
Wow.
and the high score for it is 1.4 million to get
Oh,
even
no.
close to the top 10.
Wow. Wow.
That's mental.
Yeah, is it on anything? Is it on any platforms recently, or?
You used to be able to find it on the old Wii U Virtual Console.
Gotcha.
There's also copies of it on like the PS2 on Capcom Arcade Classics.
Awesome.
You can kind of find it there. I play myself on MAME 32.
Yeah.
I actually use an X Arcade joystick when I play as well. So like anytime I'm playing an arcade game, I'm getting like the true experience.
true
of playing
experience.
with the old
Nice.
arcade sticks and everything. So.
Oh yeah. Michelle, what game are you best at? I know you're saying puzzles. I know you say puzzle games are your speed.
Yeah.
But they're very hard puzzle games, so
There are. And I like a challenge, but I always get worried that if I play a really hard puzzle game on stream, then it's just gonna be me staring at the screen
Yeah.
for like 45 minutes, and everyone in chat's gonna be like, "Well, this is really boring."
Yeah,
and I
yeah,
almost
yeah.
swore right now
Yeah,
because
yeah,
as I said, I'm like Lee and elsewhere.
I
Like
feel
Sarah.
you.
But so in terms of what I'm really good at, I've played The Witness, as I mentioned earlier. Like I have my Witness Wednesdays on my channel. I've played The Witness a ton, so I feel like I'm pretty good at that at this point, especially since I'm now playing like the Expert Randomizer mod. So I feel like I'm pretty good at that, and I do watch a lot of other Witness streams. So like I want to say that that's what I'm probably pretty the best at. But I'm also really stubborn too. So like I say I'm good at puzzle games, but I also it's more than I'm just stubborn. So I just won't.
I think some of the best moments on Stella's stream, just from having been there a fair amount, is when she gets in her head that a solution to a puzzle is a certain way, and that is not at all. And rather than adapt to the way she's approaching the puzzle, she'll just ram her head into that wall over and over again
Oh yeah,
until she's convinced herself that that will not work. And
yeah.
it's brilliant. It's fantastic to watch. To be fair.
I can't do
I
that.
just cheese a lot of solutions too. I'll be like, cool, if this isn't gonna work, then I have to break it somehow because
Right.
this has to be the right solution, but it's not working, so I have to break it. And then someone afterwards will be like, well, this was the right solution. I'll be like, no, that can't be right. No. The puzzle's broken.
I would go absolutely nuts because I'm too self-conscious when I stream. Like one of my first streams I did was Metroid Prime, and I was like, "Okay, I'm lost. Guys, anyone there?" Yeah, I hate getting lost on stream. I couldn't do puzzle games on stream unless it was like Picross. Then yeah, sign me up. I enjoy that. Picross rocks. Big
Picross is
fan.
good.
Yeah, been trying to make a Picross game in Unity, and it's whatever. Making grids is annoying for some reason. Anywho, Isnib, which games
What
are you good
games?
at?
I'm good at. I'm not really good at any games, to be honest. But as long as I keep everyone entertained, that's fine. That's all up. No.
That's my philosophy.
Yeah, exactly, Stella. Yeah, but seriously, no, I don't feel I really excel at anything in particular. But I guess because, like you guys, I've been a gamer since a wee lad. So I kind of feel like I'm generally good at most things, or can mostly kind of pick things up quite quickly. But I can't think of anything I'm particularly good at. I suppose that's better in a way to be generally good at everything
Yeah,
than to
there's the
excel in one
argument.
thing. Yeah, I don't really know though, Pocket. I do like my old 2D platformers like Lee.
Yeah.
I'm very much looking forward to playing the Donkey Kong Country trilogy on my stream.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do it a speed run like Lee's done. I'm going to take my time. We'll get.
It wasn't a
eventually.
speed run. It wasn't a speed run. Speedrunners are insane, and I am not that talented.
5.5 hours, all 3 games. I mean,
But Lee, you are insane though.
Yeah, that there is some skill there.
as a compliment. But yeah, I don't know. I enjoy like story-based games. That's
Okay.
I enjoy like Final Fantasy and old JRPGs because if you get to a point where you're stuck, you can just grind and get to a point where it's all right. This boss is kicking my ass. Not a problem. I'll just grind for a few hours. There we go. I've got it done. Yeah, I don't know. I used to be pretty good at speaking about competitive multiplayer games. I did dip my toe several years ago into playing Titanfall, the original Titanfall.
Yeah.
And I actually kind of got good at it, which surprised myself. I was like, oh, a competitive shooter.
Yeah.
I seem to be good at
I
this.
can imagine you'd be able to be good at a lot of these games because when you're playing platformers, they're typically not they're not like a walk in the park. Like unless you're playing Starfy. Like they're just not. Even some Mario games are.
Decent platformers start off easy, don't they? But by the time you get to the end, you're really struggling, I find. But I can always get there. Speaking about platformers, just to quickly segue in there.
Yeah.
Lee, or any of you, have you played Rayman Legends?
Yes, I have. Lee?
I have, not very much. I have this horrible thing where if I'm going to play a game, I need to have played all of the other games from the same franchise that comes before. And unfortunately, the first Rayman game is so bloody difficult that I can't ever engage fully with the Rayman series
yeah.
because I can't beat the first one.
Is it that hard?
So
Is it really that hard?
It is. It is.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
When
damn.
they brought it to
Oh,
the
yeah.
Game Boy Advance, did they make it a bunch easier? Because they that was one of the like launch titles or early
I
titles
think
for the
it
Game
was
Boy
a
Advance.
yeah. I think it was a direct port. It's just kind of zoomed in a little bit.
It's
further.
definitely
I know what you're
zoomed in.
talking- Yeah.
But it might
Yeah.
it might be like a
as
tiny
far
bit
as I've
easier.
known
But
from
like
the first couple, it's a
Yeah.
good port.
I'd be surprised if you can't beat it. But I can say the one thing about that original Rayman is, like we said with the old games, the collision detection is just
yeah.
painful. It's just painful.
I think they compensated by that for giving him the grab mechanic as well.
Yeah.
And which is something I realized just playing Banjo Tooie. I started that on Saturday. And having played Banjo 1, the entire thing without a grab mechanic, then playing Mario 64 where there was a grab mechanic, and then playing Banjo Tooie where you don't have the grab mechanic at the beginning, I was like, oh, I want to be able to grab onto ledges. And then as soon as you unlock that later in the game, it makes everything 10,000 times easier. And I think it accredits for that
Yeah.
lack of collision with platforms, which is really handy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Make the platforms easier to get onto. I don't understand. I mean, whatever. It's old game design. But yeah, there was some very big news this week. Nintendo is releasing a bright blue Switch. It's a slow news week. It's a very slow news week.
Yeah. They go for blue for any particular reason?
No, I don't know. Maybe they just didn't have blue. I don't know.
They want me to buy it. That's
They had
why.
Stella in
Yeah.
mind for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you
I
already
don't know.
have
I
that
don't know how I
Yoshi. What
feel
else do you
about
need?
limited edition console releases. I feel like
I don't like it.
I don't know. I feel like who has the money to like the only reason I'd ever buy a limited edition console release is if I didn't already have that console. I wouldn't
Yeah.
instantly be like, oh, I'm going to get rid of my old, my Switch that I got a year after Switches came out and trade it in for this blue one. Like, because then that's only good until the next console comes out that's exactly the same, but it's bright pink. And then I want that one in, like, it's just pointless. It goes back to what we said earlier. If it's not broke, don't fix it. What's wrong with the
Right.
original color?
Yeah, just paint your original one that color, right?
Yeah.
Or get
That-
a new
that's how
skin or
things work,
something.
right?
They have those. Yeah.
Slap acrylic paint on
Oh,
it. it's
hang
fine.
about. Chat's just
Yeah,
said
I'm-
something,
I'm,
and
like,
that would
looking at
make
that.
a lot more sense. That would make a lot more sense. So
The
if
blue
it's
and
the
purple.
GameCube and the original Game Boy Advance color, I can see a little bit more as to why they've done that. Because there was someone that said, I saw something on social media before that was like, bring back purple consoles, because Nintendo deviated away from that.
That's
And if you think about
exactly-
the colors of the SNES buttons in the States,
Mm-hmm.
and that kind of purple was Nintendo's color for a long time, and then they just got rid of it after the GameCube.
Yep.
So that would make a bit more sense, I think.
Very
Maybe
funny.
it's still
Not enough
pointless,
my
but it makes
GameCube.
sense.
Did not realize it's the
GameCube.
same color. Oh man. Sorry, you were saying- no, sorry, you guys were saying something. With different edition consoles, even though I don't, I'd need my Switch to actually break for me to get this console. Doesn't mean I don't want it. Doesn't mean I don't want the Samus edition new Nintendo 3DS or the Smash Brothers 3DS, right? I guess I was close to getting the Smash Brothers Switch console itself when it came out, but it's just like who's willing to drop the like Legion, you can totally drop the link as well. Who's willing to drop like the $300 unless you're getting rid of yours already?
There's so many other things I'd rather spend $300 on.
Yeah.
Right.
I think maybe I'm trying to try and see it from the other foot and try and work out where did this come from? Where did this idea come from? And who thought this would be a good idea and why? And I suppose who they might be marketing it towards might be the people that have that amount of disposable income,
Yeah, I
maybe.
think so.
Because obviously what
Well,
this
yeah.
release of different colors of consoles does is if you've got the money, then great, you can buy it. If you don't, you might want it, but at the end of the day, you'll have the outlet that we probably all have, which is, well, I can still access the games. It's not like it's blocking me from being able to access stuff because I don't have the money to throw at every console that comes out. So maybe it's a way of those games console companies making money from the people that can afford it without alienating those that can't.
I think
maybe.
so.
And I
Yeah.
I think this stuff mainly started with like the PS4 or PS3 or the Xbox 360 when there was a time, I think it was the Xbox 360, where these consoles, alternate versions of consoles based on games just became a thing. Just became a very common thing. And then with the PS4, I think it really hit its stride, and Nintendo started doing that with specifically mobile stuff. And it's always based on a game, you know? I mean, obviously right now it's not, but it's always, you know, for the most part, it's based on a game. You have your Animal Crossing version, you have your Smash Brothers version. It's just, it's crazy. And then you take a look at some people buy it to, I guess, maybe resell it. That's my thought of who, why else would you buy this? I guess it's limited edition, but none of those old consoles are worth that much.
No.
I think that links really nicely into the kind of how blooming difficult it is to get hold of a PS5. And I don't know what it's like, you know, elsewhere, but particularly in the UK, getting your hands on a PS5 at the moment is ludicrously difficult.
It's impossible in the
I've been trying to
States.
get. It's
Canada,
crazy.
can confirm.
Yeah, I think, and it's the scalpers, it's the people that are buying them up to then resell them because they've got that amount of disposable income at hand to begin with.
This is also a pandemic and everything. So it's you can't get Pokemon cards these days, you know?
Wow.
Let alone a PS5.
Because there was that whole thing. Go on.
Isn't
Sorry,
it?
Lee, I have to. I was about to, sorry, I was trying to be funny. I'd say no one would waste money on Pokemon cards, so would they, Pocket?
Yeah, who would do that? I don't know what to talk about.
Wasn't there the whole thing with the McDonald's Happy Meals? Wasn't that a thing where they were putting Pokemon cards into Happy Meals?
I
and
only
then a
bought
load
like
of
30
adults
Happy
were going
Meals.
to McDonald's and just buying all of the Happy Meals so that
Yeah.
they couldn't go into the thing anymore. It was insane. It absolutely mental. I don't understand why those people exist.
I only bought like 30 Happy Meals, and I only eat kosher, so it's not like I actually bought the Happy Meals.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, that's a thing that happened in reality.
So what did you actually do with them, Pocket? Did you just give the food away?
I asked
just
if I
like-
could just if I could just sponsor them to give food to people who need it, and they basically were like, no. So they charged me like $1 less, and then took out the meal component, and I just got the Happy. Yeah,
That's all you needed, though.
that's what I
fair enough.
needed. That's
I
what I
didn't know
needed.
you could just buy Happy. I would love that.
Yeah.
We know the price now of what Happy goes for now.
Yeah.
At least for McDonald's.
How
Yeah.
long does the Happy last?
So that's the thing. It's lasting McDonald's amounts of time. So I don't know.
Oh,
Okay.
there we go.
But Stella needs some Happy so she can go play some Minecraft. That's what she needs.
We need to get a Minecraft server going. Oh man, it's so true. It's so true. Yeah, I was the only person I didn't hear from within this was Ingledoom. When it comes to the consoles, and have you been looking for a PS5?
No, actually, I still have my PS4 and it seems to be doing me just fine. I'm not
Yeah.
one to seek the newest thing, like especially when it comes to games. I'm happy with the ones I have, and there's still plenty of them I haven't played on the PS4. No, I've just recently got into more PC gaming. On like Steam, I had done that just like a couple of years ago when my son was born, and I had a whole bunch of time on my hands.
Nice.
And so I started getting into a little bit more PC gaming and having a lot of fun with that. And being able to get like some of the retro games working on newer systems is a lot of fun for me. So yeah, I'm not really concerned so much about with the new consoles, but
Yeah.
with that being said, I mean the same thing is happening with graphic cards too. People were going in and buying them and reselling them for
Yeah,
way higher than they need to be. You
And I
know, so
feel like-
getting a
yeah.
graphics card at this point is just so hard.
it's insane. It's insane. I feel like that was happening right before the pandemic, and once the pandemic hit,
Yeah,
it's
it got worse.
It's just insanity. It's just insanity. I like seriously wonder if people are going to be able to get PS5s in any, time soon. I don't know.
Does the PS5 have much to offer, though? That the
to me
PS4 doesn't?
zero?
Yeah.
Yes,
What does it have to
like,
offer?
The most exciting game that I know about is a remake of a PS3 game, Demon Souls.
There
I
you
don't
go.
know anything else that's on the PS5.
Well, they have a
I
remake
was-
of Final Fantasy VII. They have a remake of, which is a
Okay.
remake of Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah.
The remake of Final Fantasy VII I thought was a fantastic game on PS4, and I am quite interested for when the DLC comes. But obviously, there's no real rush for that. For me, it was the Oddworld game, which I know you can play on PS4. I know
You can-
that.
yeah.
But in order to see it in all of its gloriousness, I would like to give that a damn good go on the PS5. And I've seen some streamers streaming it as well, and it looks fantastic. So I do want to give that a go. So that was where my hunt for the the PS5 kind of started. Is as soon as I knew a release date for that game, I was trying to get my hands on.
I'm super glad that someone finally has played the Oddworld games. I've done a couple streams where I'm like, man, someone, have you heard about the Oddworld? No, nobody. Okay, have you heard about? No. I
Oddworld
love
art style so good.
the art style's so good.
Yeah.
I played a little bit of it. I got fed up, but I used to watch G4. G4 previously was Tech TV. So we used to watch Tech TV, and
Miss G4.
yeah, and they used to have Cinematech, which is a show where they just played the cutscenes from video games. And watching Oddworld's
I
cutscenes.
love you, Pocket.
Yeah, right? Love. It was just like nothing else. And it's weird talking about a game as if I've played it because of that, but it was
That was the cool thing about that show.
It was so yeah, but that too. But it's like that specific game, Oddworld, it was just so cinematic. It had a real heart to a story. The universe they made, they've been working on for 30 years, I guess. Right now, is it 30 years?
Mm-hmm.
It's probably 20 years or something. But I think when I looked at interviews on them, they were doubling down with each game. So each game, they would like bet the house on it, and it did okay enough for them to build what's next. And now that they've bet the house on Soulstorm, and it's been getting good reviews. Because typically, I don't know, I was like very scared when Soulstorm was released, because it's a game that I feel could have gotten bad reviews, could have gone the other way.
I think I don't know. I think I fell off the Oddworld train after at Munch's Odyssey is where I fell off, which was the first kind of 3D one that they did.
That was Xbox.
Yeah, and I've got it on PS3 now, and I played the first half of it twice, and I just get bored of it. But the world building was still there, and then they kind of did a first-person shooter after that, which I think was called Stranger's Wrath, which again,
Yeah.
I've not played that either. I've got it, and my aim is to play through all of them on stream. I've played through the first Abe game on stream, and I'm going to go back to the second one after I finish Banjo-Tooie. But I think then they realized that wasn't the direction they wanted to go in, and they obviously went back and they re-released Fresh and Tasty, which was obviously a re-release of the first one, going back to or New and Tasty, my bad.
Yeah.
Where it was kind of the first game, but they'd added in these new modern quality of life improvements, and that I think split the house. I think majoritively people were unhappy with it because it didn't have the same oppressive atmosphere that the original games had.
They changed the atmosphere, and I remember seeing people were like yes and no about that. But it's the same game. So I think they did that so that they could do Soulstorm. And then they worked on Soulstorm for like 7 years. I was gonna say, should we sum up Oddworld for people? But it's something you just gotta Google. There's no
Yeah.
It's something you just gotta Google.
Someone recently told me to put it on my wish list. They thought I would like it, so I have the New and Tasty one on my wish list. So
yeah, I mean, I don't know how much I'd enjoy it today, because it's a slow game, if I remember correctly. It's a stealthy game.
Oh, I don't like stealth.
I mean, I don't know. It is a stealthy game. It has some stealth elements, but it's a 2D stealth game, so it's not like it's not. You can see everything that's able to see you, if that makes sense. So the stealth element is a lot simpler than a 3D stealth game, which I can't stand, because you don't know where. There are always blind spots in a 3D stealth game, and you don't know where you're going to be spotted from. Whereas in Abe, you always have all of the elements on the screen that you need to be able to solve the puzzle. So it is a puzzle game, but there are definitely some action and button press sequences that you need to get right and get the timing right on, which, depending on what you're like with those types of games, would obviously directly impact how much you enjoyed it, I think.
Yeah, I do think you'd probably like it a lot, because of it is heavily puzzle with how you're supposed to get back, go around and save everyone. Yeah. So we've got another article. I know your guys' favorite game. It's Among Us, and and the article. What?
It seems.
What? I missed all.
It seems very Among Us.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about it.
Yeah,
it's
and the article, of course, on ScreenRant.com is that there's an Easter egg for Smash Brothers in Among Us. There's like a poster. This is news. Remember, this was a very slow news week. This is what happens when I do this podcast. There are very slow news weeks, and I will comically say things like the Tiny Tim documentary trailer and stuff like that because it just ends up being a slow news week. So yes, Screen Rant had an article about there being a the Melee stage, the Battlefield stage in Melee is like on a poster in Among Us. That is newsworthy. That's what we've gotten up to.
I'm sure it's very important to somebody.
Yeah, exactly.
I haven't seen it. I played the most recent map last weekend with some friends, but I didn't see it.
Yeah, it's in the Discord. There's a link to it if you get bored and want to see where exactly it is.
I'll go do that while you talk.
Yeah. The other piece of news is that Riot Games is creating a League of Legends cinematic universe. Oh, he's back.
Rip.
Hey!
Where'd you go?
Moved for a second. Yeah.
I clicked on the wrong thing.
Yeah, no problem. No worries.
Hang on.
So, League of Legends, which is of course your guys' favorite game aside from Among Us, is planning out a cinematic universe. And have any of you guys actually tried League of Legends?
Yes.
Look, Among Us, League of Legends, Fortnite, all of these things are just too huge to ignore while you can scrutinize them for sure, right? But
I've been playing League of Legends for about 8 years. So and actually I'm not like super excited about this idea of a cinematic universe, but I will say that the storylines they've got for each character, the amount of lore that they've put in behind each character, I think a cinematic universe for League of Legends is doable, and I think it will be good.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Riot obviously did 8 years themselves with just that one game, and obviously that was where all of their income came from. And then over the last 2 years, they've pushed out Teamfight Tactics, they've pushed out Legends of Runeterra, which are kind of spin-offs and different styles of games to League of Legends, but using the same characters and stuff, which has been really cool.
They're really
so it
turning
seems
into a
like they're
franchise.
really absolutely, and I think it's going to work. I think it could be really good. It would depend on how much they made the cinematic universe accessible for people that didn't know League of Legends to begin with, and they'd have to be really careful about how they handled that, I think, to make sure that they could bring people into the game from movies. But I think it could work.
Yeah, are you guys Isnib, Ingle, and Michelle, are you guys unaware of this stuff probably?
Completely unaware.
Completely
Yeah, I've
unaware.
never
So-
played League of Legends.
so,
League of Legends.
League of Legos. So it's
I would definitely play League of Legos. I would definitely
Would
play that
Yeah.
game.
League of Legends is like it's a very well made game, but one of their big things is they have like 100 characters that you can choose from, and you could play 100 hours with any one of these characters, and it'll still feel kind of fresh, for a number of reasons. But one of the key things that they do is they have really deep lore for each of the characters. Each character really feels like a person, really feels like it has this backstory.
That's
And
awesome.
I played League of Legends for a couple of years and then I quit because it was such a toxic community.
Mhm.
And it just like consumes your life sometimes. At least for me and a bunch of other friends. But it wasn't because the game wasn't good. There's something to be said about how great they are at world building.
Right.
And so something like this where they make a cinematic universe, they can totally, like Lee said, they have enough content to do it. Like they really have the stuff there to do it. And for me, I feel like it's just a matter of time in one way or another. And it's these stories are not things that I feel like need to stretch on having people see, because a lot of these stories are very human. A lot of these stories, they could just pass it off as if it's a superhero story. Like I would say do yourselves a favor and take a look at the cinematics they make for League of Legends. They're always gorgeous. They always tell an interesting story, regardless of if you know a lot of the context or not. Yeah. my little 2 cents on that one.
I mean, they put out
Well, you made it interesting. I want to actually check it out more than just the fact that I know it's a well-known game and stuff like that. So
Right.
thanks.
Like,
they put out KDA as well, didn't they? So
they put out
a K-pop
KDA.
a K-pop band, and the music. If you've not listened to any of
Yeah,
the
their
of
music's so
KDA's
good.
songs, they are bops. Like they are so good to listen to. And even now, like I've got like a memory stick with 4,000 songs or something that plays in my car. Most of it video game music.
Yeah.
But when KDA comes on, every time it's crank up the volume. We're doing this. It's fun every single time. So I think so far everything they've tried to branch out with has been really successful. You can't really fault them.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, Ingle?
Oh no, I was just about to say, no, mad respect for the game and the folks that play it and stuff like that, but I think
Yeah.
it's one of those games, if you're not like in it,
Exactly.
it's one of those things that's very intimidating.
Oh,
It's
for sure.
intimidating to play that game.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah.
Or
I
try to
don't
get
suggest
into
people
it,
play it too, because it was so addicting that I was like, it was addicting and unhealthy, and the player base was so toxic. Whenever I'd
Right.
play a game, like people, if you made one mistake, you'd be guilting yourself the entire time. Everyone on your
Right.
team would be guilting you. So like, it's not even something that I truly advise.
Mhm.
But it doesn't mean that it's not quality, and it doesn't mean that even
Right.
though the player base is toxic, and it doesn't mean that the stories there aren't valuable.
Reminds me of World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
Or Magic the Gathering, for that matter.
Yeah, it's all that stuff.
You
It's-
know,
they're all these.
I don't know. I
different
only play with
worlds.
good people for Magic. I don't play online either.
see, that's the
Yeah.
same thing. I'm a very casual Magic the Gathering player. I like to play for lulz. If I win, hey, great.
Yeah,
it's
like
more of
kitchen
just hanging out
sink,
with my
right?
friends. Yeah, there you go. Exactly.
Yeah, that's the same reason I quit Magic. When you have a playing card game that's kind of pay to win, and you have people who play with decks that are entirely like, I don't know,
Like $1,000 decks. like that
$1,000
they-
decks,
Right.
and my
Like-
deck is off the shelf. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. It's just painful.
Yeah, sorry to like digress there for a second,
Please,
but
please do.
when I went to a convention once, and like my husband and I, we brought our Magic decks, and I played against this, like, I don't know, 12-year-old kid, and I was like, okay, yeah, sure, I'll play against this kid, and I have like my little cute deck, it's my little wolf deck, and I was like, yeah, I'm really proud of this deck, and this kid comes out with like all these, like, he was playing, I don't know, like a goblin, I don't know what it was, but it was like a fucking,
No, you're good. You're good.
that's my one, that's my one.
That's the one. That's
That's
the
the
one.
one.
It was this aggro red deck, and it was just like demolishing me, and I was just like, should I just have a wolf? Can I please just put my wolf out?
Yeah, exactly.
And I was like, you're like 12. Can you please just like enjoy things that kids like? Just calm down. Like, how expensive was this deck? And I was just like, okay, this is why I would just like to sit at home and play with my friends. Thanks. Bye.
Yeah, exactly. And like, actually, just to speak to that a little bit, I was by my brother's place recently, and they actually make dual decks that are made to kind of face off against each other, with Magic the Gathering. And I'm like, oh my god, this is exactly what I've always wanted. So I played against him, and it wasn't as cruelly unbalanced. So, it's all these things are just worlds that get way too overwhelming.
But have great lore.
Yeah, they have amazing lore. They have amazing lore.
We named our cat after Liliana.
Oh, nice.
Excellent.
There
Where-
you go.
Oh, she's in the hallway. She's sleeping.
So, Amazon has been working on a Lord of the Rings TV show for a while. I think they spent over $300 million on it, and I think this must
It's
have gone
high
hand
pocket
in hand.
Change.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
That's
like,
true for Amazon. Yes.
Yeah, those Bezos books. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
rare
it's-
price.
Yeah, the CEO took a Subway and some change fell out of his wallet.
Yeah.
So they spent like all this money on it, and they were also, I guess, working as a tie-in on a Lord of the Rings game with Tencent, an MMO, and that was just canceled.
Ah.
Yeah. So I guess my question to pose to the group was, what is your favorite game that you were looking forward to that got canceled along the way? I can start with some like StarCraft Ghost, because I always thought that was amazing.
Yeah, that was really cool when it was
That
coming
was-
out. I was kind of excited for.
Yeah.
I was playing a game for the 360 called Too Human that came out, and it got into some controversy with some of the developers and whatnot, and there was supposed to be like 3 parts to come out to it. I really had a lot of fun with that game, and was really looking forward to the other releases for the trilogy. And of course, like I said, with all the problems they had with the development, I think they got into trouble for using some things they probably shouldn't have been using. I'm not really sure what happened on the back end of it, but of course, the title got canceled.
No.
Yeah, that was a game I really enjoyed and was really upset when I found out all that just was going to go away.
Interesting, Doom. I do actually have that game. I just never
I
played
love
it.
that game. It's so good.
I'll have a look at it.
I have to freaking Google another thing. This is always what happens. I mean, we cover such a variety of topics here. We went from like Among Us to League of Legends to Conker's Bad Fur
Minecraft.
Day. Like it's spanning a lot of different gaming. Yeah, Magic. Literally not on a computer.
The Witness.
The Witness. Yeah.
All over the place. Wonderful.
Yeah.
I think the game I think of when you said cancelled games there,
Yeah.
Pocket, I was like, I had to think for a second. I was like, what
For sure. I'm sure this is the question.
what was I thinking of? But then it suddenly occurred to me a few years ago. I'm sure you're all aware of it, if not played it. Konami released PT, which was meant the playable trailer
Yes.
for the new
Mhm.
the stunning new Silent Hill game that we'd all been waiting years for. Super excited about it. I'm personally a huge Silent Hill fan. And then it just got canned.
Yeah, and I'm not even a Silent Hill fan,
Why?
and I was like, I tried that. Like, I'm not a Silent Hill fan. I have no interest in this. I played that trailer. I was like, I'm in.
Yes,
I'm just
exactly.
absolutely in. My friend said,
I feel like a lot of people were, Pocket.
yeah,
Had no real interest in the series, but
nothing.
were captivated by not just the demo, but because it looked amazing. When I played it, it's probably the best looking video game I'd ever seen. But just like how mysterious it was, it just came out of nowhere. Nobody knew what it was. You didn't know it was Silent Hill until
Yeah.
the end when you completed it. So that's what I'd be disappointed about. And we're probably never
I
going to
think
get
on-
a new Silent Hill game.
On that note
There
of no one
rumors.
knowing what it was, I don't play scary games, and I saw that and I downloaded it not knowing what it was, and I got about 10 minutes into it and I went, I don't think this is for me, but I'm in it now. So let's carry on, shall we?
Oh, bless you, Lee.
It was nightmarish, absolutely nightmarish.
Oh no.
Oh man, Ingle, Michelle, did you even see this?
No.
Oh yeah.
I don't remember that. I
Okay.
bought one Silent Hill game, but got too scared to play it.
Yeah, I don't really
Bless you.
understand the appeal. A lot of the appeal of different like horror games, but you know.
Oh,
it's-
I love horror games. When the first Silent Hill came out, me and my buddies got it. We turned off all the lights and
oh
turned the
no.
volume up, and that first scene just went ahead and grabbed
My
me ever since
God.
like Resident Evil 1, or I would say like Phantasmagoria, which is a full motion video game I played on the computer back in the day. That was a scary game. I just, when you're a kid, you read scary stories, of course, in the daylight, but still get kind of scared, and that's how I kind of figured like old just horror games in general, Like,
Yeah.
Friday the 13th for the NES used to scare the pants off of me.
Well, yeah, Freddy's green. Sorry, Jason's green or something.
Purple.
Purple.
But yeah, I love horror
Indigo.
games.
It's a blue.
Wait. Just for chat, because it's one of my favorite lyrics.
Throwing it
There
back.
we go.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, that's a nice lyric right there. I do like I wanted to get into something like Dead by Daylight. Like I can understand the appeal of asymmetrical gameplay game like Friday. I guess Friday the 13th is another one like that. And I guess once I play a game with someone who's passionate about it, I end up appreciating the game, unless it's
Mhm.
Last of Us. But
Yeah, I love.
But I
Friday
haven't
the
seen that with-
13th. I'm very good at it.
with Friday the 13th, yeah.
I've logged a lot of hours into Friday the 13th, both as Jason and as a counselor, and I love the hide and seek aspect of it. And Friday the 13th was one of my favorite horror genres growing up. So
Yeah, I love how it's a genre because it also has like 30 different films. It's a classic cheap.
It's
slasher
certainly its
movie.
own thing, isn't it?
Yeah, very much so. So I was going to ask. Oh, I spaced out for a second, which is very classic of me. What is your? Well, we'll do like one or two more questions, and we'll start wrapping up. What is your game that you would say is a must play that everyone should play that they haven't? If there's a game that is a rare, everyone see, I made you guys think. Like, I mean, it's.
Does it have to be like a game that's been out for a while?
No, as in like
or-
really like what is a game that you think people skipped that you wish that they took a look at? Like for a second I thought that people skipped Pokemon Snap. They didn't. It turns out everyone played that game. Not everyone, but you know, a lot of people played that game. Yeah, I knew that was going to happen. So I know I probably have to think on this one as well. Because typically I'd be like, okay, a typical person would skip out on something like Hollow Knight, so I'd suggest it to them. But what is a game that you think people probably skipped that they should go back and check out? I guess for me, it would be something like Conker's Bad Fur Day. I think that's the one that, like, if you're watching things, probably, you know, I guess demographic-wise, you probably weren't alive during that time, and you haven't seen the insanity of Conker's Bad Fur Day. Any thoughts?
This is a really hard question.
It
really
is.
hard.
Yeah.
Because I'm not shy about recommending games to people. So like if I think someone should play something, I just tell them.
Sure. So how about
Okay.
let's go with an easy one if you guys or actually Lee, you've got one?
I think I have. So it's a game called, and again, it might be something that was hugely popular. And I just don't know about it. It's a game called Flower. It was by That Game Company, who also, that's their name, That Game Company. I'm calling them something weird. So it's by That Game Company, who came out with Journey on the PS3, PS4. And it's super relaxing. And essentially all it is you are a petal, but well, you're kind of the wind. You start as one petal floating on this breeze, and you're this breeze, and you just have to blow that one petal to touch all of these other flowers. It is super relaxing, but it's got this kind of underlying message of kind of nature versus technology and industry and blah, blah, blah. It's a super, super chill game, like all of the games by That Game Company are. And really lovely. But I played that probably about 10 years ago, but normally they sell it now in a bundle with Flow,
Yeah.
Flower, and Journey all together. And I definitely recommend Flower. It's a real experience, and I preferred it to Journey. Journey is, I know I'm kind of talking more about series now, but Journey, you kind of has multiplayer elements, so you get paired up with a random stranger online, and you both go on this journey together,
Really?
which is super cool because you've got no way of communicating with them
I didn't know
either,
it was
other than like
multiplayer.
in-game pings.
No, I didn't know it was.
Yeah, so you're wandering through this desert or whatever, going on this journey, and every now and then you might see another character, but that other character is another real life player. They're a real
Really?
human being.
I didn't
Yeah,
get a chance
that
to
are
play
playing the
that,
game
yeah.
at the same time. It's insane. I mean, I don't know how well that's aged, because obviously you'd need to be playing it when someone else was playing it. It'd need to pay you up and stuff. But I played it when it first came out, and it really it hits different, if that makes sense. It absolutely hits different. And Flower's like that, but it doesn't have that multiplayer element. So I imagine it's aged that little bit better because it hasn't lost anything with less people
Is it on
playing these
Steam?
days.
I'm sure. It's on Steam.
Probably, I would imagine so.
Go.
It's just really chill. There's no real hardcore gameplay about it. It's just a
For
real nice way
sure.
to unwind.
I mean that those go into the category of like experiential games. Something like Limbo, where it's puzzle, but it's more of an experience, right?
Mm.
Even I dare to say something like Bastion, when it's because it's short and it's more hard hitting. Man,
Oh, it's published by Annapurna.
Ingo or Isnid, Michelle, do you have a game that, and if you don't have one that's obviously that obscure, I mean, I said Conker's Bad Fur Day. If you have a game that you just would suggest everyone to play,
The
I think I've
Witness.
got one.
yeah.
Go
I
on,
mean,
Steph.
that's it.
I guess. Well, Ingo, I guess.
Did you have one?
I'm trying to think. It's hard to kind of like recommend things because obviously we've all got very different tastes. But a few things I could chuck out there that were probably very influential to me growing up was the and you might like this, Stella, if you've not played it, point and click games series called Monkey Island series.
Okay.
Pretty old.
It won't run on my computer.
No.
It won't run on your computer. It's too old.
No. Yeah.
Seriously? Oh my god,
I
that's-
have it
those
and it
older
won't
games are
run.
like
you have it. Okay, well, apart from Stella, everyone else should go out and play it. No.
It's gotta be available on
You're
an
not the
emulator
first person
too.
to recommend it. Many people have
They
recommended.
they remastered it. Is the
Yeah.
remaster not available on Steam?
No, I have the Steam one and it won't run.
Oh,
What?
I don't know
Hmm.
why. Yeah,
Oh.
I'll look into it again.
Yeah,
I'm
we should
really
definitely try and help you
right
out with that, Stella,
Yeah.
because they're
Yeah.
great
Yeah,
games.
wait.
They're,
Yeah.
I think they released in like the mid '90s. Old LucasArts
Yeah,
point and
LucasArts.
click games.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Like you said,
love
there's
point
some
and
good
click.
communities to help get those older games running. I had the similar thing with Knights of the Old Republic to try to get it to run and to stream. So I had to just kind of Google it, and there's communities out there who are really like awesome in helping getting older games to run on newer systems.
Yeah, because I have to get every Tuesday. I have to get my Nancy Drew games to run, and those are from like the late '90s, early 2000s. So like,
Wow.
and I've been doing fine, but I don't know. Some games are just
I can't
More-
do point and
yeah,
click.
more touchy.
It drives me nuts.
It's not for your pocket.
point and
It's not for
click.
me.
Because then you can use one hand to play the game, and then the other hand you can just eat snacks. I
Yeah,
should be
that's
so
why I
much
play-
fatter.
That's
You've
why
got your priorities straight, Stella.
I do.
That's why I play Pac-Man
You played-
99.
What's that?
That's why I play Pac-Man 99.
Fair. Yeah.
But yeah, I suppose that would be my recommendation. Just even if it's not your type of game, Pocket. I just
Yeah.
remember being a child playing them. It just made me. It just helped me kind of like look at puzzles and kind of think outside the box and like what do I do this? Plus, it's got great irreverent humour as well.
Yeah.
So I was very into those as a child.
I love hearing people's suggestions, like the games they're most passionate about, because it's like it brings a different life to a game when I play it. So I'm excited. If I get a chance, I might even bug you. Like,
Please do.
Come on.
Please do,
yeah, we'll co-stream it. Yeah,
dude. I would love that.
yeah. Ingle, did you have a game, or did we already do that? I space out.
Oh no, you're good. Actually, I think we were talking about it before, but I would highly recommend it by trying out Jet Grind Radio.
Jet Grind Radio.
If you
Yes, we
were-
were talking about that
yeah.
before the podcast, because the 96th best game of all time, according to Metacritic, is Jet Grind Radio. And if you remember from like last week, the 96th best game of all time was it? Well, the point is, one of you guys remembers, and it changed the
You did
Metacritic.
Splinter Cell recently,
What?
didn't you? Splinter Cell was one of your games you talked about
Splinter Cell,
recently.
yeah.
Yeah.
Splinter
But-
Cell's another good one.
The list changed. So the
Yeah.
game of the week
Annoying.
was Jet Grind Radio, because
Yeah.
apparently it took the spot of Splinter Cell from last week. So Ingle, you're suggesting people, because I remember there's Jet Set Radio and there's Jet Set Radio Future, and
Yeah, so
someone
Jet
made
Set Radio Future was
Yeah.
a launch title for the Xbox, but Jet Grind Radio was actually released on the Dreamcast.
yeah.
And it was one of my favorite games on the Dreamcast. I actually still own a physical copy of it. I
Is
still
it-
have my Dreamcast. So.
Is it similar to stuff like Sunset Overdrive?
No, not really. What the whole story about it is, it's like you're a group of kids who like to do graffiti on jet magnetic rollerblades, and you're fighting against the police and the establishment and other rival gangs. You actually get the warning at the beginning of the game going, graffiti isn't art, but it is also against the law. So, but it was pretty much what it is. What you were doing was you were going around different parts of Japan and you were covering up different rivals' tags with your own tags, and it kind of had that Tony Hawk element to it. It had a really kind of cool, like,
Oh, so
EDM or techno kind of soundtrack, as you're kind of going through it. You get to unlock different people to come into your gang to help you out that have better abilities, either from skating or from painting or whatnot, and it had really cool artwork. I love the cell shaded effect of it all. I was really into Tony Hawk at the time, and it was different. It was artsy,
So-
and it was really cool.
so it has similar mechanics to something like Jet Grind. Something like Tony Hawk, which
Mhm.
is hard to
Or
replicate.
extremely,
Yeah. Which I'm really excited for being able to play that remake. Yeah, I would totally understand why that would pique people's interest, and it got re-released, I'm sure, Jet Grind Radio a couple times, right?
Yeah, there's an HD version of it on Steam.
Yeah.
I just linked it in chat.
Yeah, I
Nice.
saw that. I see you. Thank you.
But yeah, I suggest anybody to give it a shot. It's a nice, fun, chill game. It's like a kind of an open world type of thing. Once you kind of unlock all the other parts of Japan, and just kind of go through and check everything out. It's a lot of fun, in my opinion.
I also linked Flower, which I hope that's the right one, Lee.
Yeah, it looks like the right one. I haven't.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
And
would
the
imagine.
Witness, just in case.
yeah.
anyone wants
Everyone, if you wanted to see what is, well, I was gonna say, I guess the appeal of the game. I did get some of the appeal of the game because the puzzles were fun, but I'm sure it just keeps building on itself, right?
It's more than just puzzles.
It's more than just puzzles. I like that. More than just puzzles. I have to buy a new PS4. Another game that would just add to this list of games that people probably have overlooked, have no idea about, would be Katamari Damacy. It's just
I've heard that
happiness
it's very good.
incarnate. Yeah, it's just happiness incarnate. There's no other way of
I
explaining
hope I
it.
spelled this right.
Yes. We're gonna wind down a little bit, and I guess pose the final question. Then we'll let you guys shout out whatever you like. The final question is, what are you looking forward to next in gaming? It could be a new game that you're looking forward to. It could be, I don't know, an update to a game. It could be an industry change. What is something that you're looking forward to? Like, simple one for me would be Pokemon Snap. Not that that's really what I'm looking forward to. Honestly, the next game I'm looking forward to is probably Silk Song. Hollow Knight is one of my favorite games ever, and their sequel, Silk Song, it's about time they told us something about it. They've been working on that for forever. I'll go with Michelle.
Breath of the Wild 2.
Yeah, good call. Good call. Do you think that they're gonna do anything interesting with that? I mean, clearly
I
they're
don't
teasing something
know.
with Zelda being there.
It's kind of hard to see where they can go, really,
Yeah.
from the end of Breath of the Wild.
Yeah. It's pretty conclusive in a way, right?
But I don't know. I mean, I really like open world games. Like, hot take, Wind Waker was my favorite because it was very open world. Like, once you were able to finally direct the wind, you could go wherever you want. Like, yeah, I mean, you still had to do the story kind of in the right way, but you could go and explore wherever you wanted. So I really liked that about Breath of the Wild, because it was just, you could just do whatever you wanted. You could go wherever you wanted.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to more of that in Breath of the Wild 2. I don't so much care about the story, really. I just really want to go explore again.
I don't know if they care about their story because they
Yeah.
just. I mean, clearly they do because they had Hyrule Warriors, Age of Calamity. But aside from that, the story, they have like 3 different timelines. It's always just good versus evil. I don't know if they care so much about story. Yeah, I can't wait for that too, and I really got to pick up Age of Calamity, because, dang,
Good.
Hyrule Warriors.
I watched
is
my
another
husband
one.
play it. It was really cute.
Yeah, definitely pick up Hyrule Warriors. That's very good. Ingle, what do you have?
I'm looking forward to, and I know this is gonna sound weird, but there's, I think, in development, and I think it's still going on, but there's an Evil Dead game coming out where you can play different
cool.
heroes from the Evil Dead series in the Army of Darkness, kind of like a Dead by Daylight kind of Friday the 13th kind of thing. There's
that
several
sounds great.
people in the community who are really looking forward to that game, and I think it's a lot of fun. As far as like horror movies, again, I like horror movies, especially like the older
Yeah,
ones.
but-
Like I like the old gags and whatnot,
Yeah,
not
Evil
like
Dead's
an anatomy lesson of the new
special,
ones,
right?
but.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Evil Dead is definitely close to my heart. So I'm really looking forward to that game coming out soon and playing that with some friends.
Oh man, that is super exciting. Lee.
I mean, mine. I don't know. Mine seems like quite a. I don't know. I'll just go with it.
Yeah.
I'm excited about seeing what Square Enix are doing with the Final Fantasy series. The Final Fantasy series has been my favorite ever since I was 8 and I played Final Fantasy 7 for the first time. And I think my opinion of them has swung to and fro without the Final Fantasy series ever losing that top spot as my favorite. That doesn't mean that I think they're the best game series ever, but I do think that there's some real charm, and I think that Square Enix is always, particularly with the Final Fantasy series, about 2 years ahead of its time, which is why every time they pushed out a new Final Fantasy game over the last 5 kind of iterations of it, it's been received badly, and then a couple of years later, everyone starts defending it as something that was really good, and I think that's really interesting. I think the Final Fantasy VII Remake was fantastic, and I'm really excited to see how they push that moving forward. I appreciate that some people didn't like the ending, but I think that they did something.
Yeah.
And I won't talk about it too much, but I think they did something new and fresh with it to kind of cater for as much of a spreading audience as they can, because they've got people new to the franchise and people that are fans of the original game, and they had to try and please everyone. And obviously, they're never going to be able to do that.
Sure.
But they're trying. And Final Fantasy 16 as well looks super cool, and another fresh look at the series. So I'm really excited about Final Fantasy 16 and the next installment of the Final Fantasy 7 remake, and seeing what they do with that for sure.
Yeah, I only got a chance to. I haven't got a chance to play the remake yet. I played Final Fantasy 7 for the first time like last year, I think, maybe 2 years ago, and I love exactly everything going on with Final Fantasy 7. And so I'm scared about the remake. So we'll see how that goes. I assume it's gonna be good. So I'm not too worried.
I genuinely thought it was flawless. I can
Really?
appreciate why other people don't like it, but my opinion was that it was a pretty fantastic game, and it was the first game I sat there and I played start to finish and platinumed, which isn't
Wow.
something I normally do very often, particularly of games of that length. But I platinumed out of wanting to just play the game more,
Wow.
which is a testament to the game in my opinion.
So cool. Now I'm gonna get sucked into it soon. That's what's going to happen. Saturday nights are done.
Everyone's told me it's amazing, the Final Fantasy VII remake. I know I've heard people whisper online, like, oh, the story, they've done this, they've done that.
Yeah.
Is it a good game? Did you have fun with it?
Yeah, exactly.
Stop stressing it. Yeah.
Isnib, you're in the hot seat.
Games I'm looking forward to be honest, Pocket, I'm more concerned because all my gaming now is just done on stream. I don't have time to really play games off stream. And I'm sure you guys are probably the same.
Yeah.
I'm more excited just to play old games on stream with my viewers. But if you put me on the spot, I'm a very big fan of the old Doom games.
Yes.
And a few years ago, I got into, I don't know if everyone's ever heard of it, Brutal Doom. Now, Brutal Doom's a mod, one of the big mods in the modding community for Doom. The gentleman who made that, which I'm a big fan of, he Sergeant Mark IV, I believe his name, some Brazilian fellow. He's actually making his own game all on his own. That's called Brutal Fate, and that's supposed to be due to release sometime this year, I think. I'm very excited about that. Probably not everyone's cup of tea, but
No, but
that's
still,
the new game that I'm excited about.
I think you've mentioned Brutal Doom, so
yes, yeah. I've tried speaking to the community about Doom and Brutal Doom, and they're like, "What?" They're clueless. So I'm looking forward to showing it to them.
Great. Heading back into it, I wander around, I get lost. I don't know why. Yeah. But I've gotten lost in Doom 2016 as well. The updates to Doom have been fantastic from what I've seen. The Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal. I love 2016.
Oh.
Ingo, you were gonna say something?
Eternal was beautiful. The Eternal was just a beautiful game to watch. I've seen a couple people play through that, and it was just like, wow, how far we've come from the old, 386s running Doom on like 14 different floppies to what it is now. Is just amazing.
And it just like captures the essence as well of like, you're with that soundtrack. It's just a very visceral experience.
Oh gosh,
it's just so amazing.
Doom 3 is still one of my favorites. I
love
that
really?
game. Oh yeah.
I need to play more of the old school Dooms. I have them all. Just need to get with that, I think we should start wrapping up. Guys, we're going stick around. We're gonna do some shout outs to people. Everyone's got a chance to shout out whatever you like, be it Stay Puft Marshmallow Man or your channel. And then after that, we're going to find someone who needs a little bit of a kick, and we will raid them. So stick around. I guess Michelle, would you like to go first? Who would you like to plug?
Sure. I guess the obvious answer is myself.
Yeah, typically you should probably plug yourself. Yeah.
Okay.
Guys, follow these
Um,
amazing people.
So, I mean, tomorrow I'm back at it at 6 Eastern. I'll be playing more Talos DLC. Then Tuesday, here, I actually have the game right here. Hang on. I have my next Nancy Drew game,
Oh
Secret
man.
of Shadow Rent.
Oh, that is 90s.
Oh, yeah. Well, technically, this one is 2000 and
Ooh, from the future.
something. I don't know. Normally, the dates are on here.
I mean, it
Oh.
might be 2000, but the box art is still 90s. Let's be honest.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. And these are all like my originals and everything too. But anyways, so that's
Amazing.
Tuesday,
That's
and then
awesome.
Wednesday
Yeah.
is Witness Wednesday as usual. Feel free to follow me if that sounds like your kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah. She's got
Ta-da!
a Yoshi. Check out
I
the Yoshi.
do. I also have a Yoshi tattoo. If you join
Oh.
my Discord, I can send you pictures.
Ooh.
That's
Lee,
so
did you not
cool.
know that?
No.
Okay, I'll send it to you.
Ah,
And a
Wait.
Toothless the Dragon.
aw. So
Yeah.
cute.
I assume it's not convenient, Stella, for you show us at the moment.
No.
Yeah, okay. I figured.
We'll figure out a way to get that to
I would
Discord.
have to take off my pants.
Right, yeah. Maybe next time.
So, I guess, Isnib, why not?
Yes, guys, please come hang out with me and my wonderful viewership,
Do
the
it.
wonderful community I'm a part of on my channel. I'm only currently streaming 3 days a week at the minute, which is the same time every time, which is midday Eastern Standard Time or 5 p.m. GMT. We usually do about a 5-hour stream. I'm currently playing. I've just started the Borderlands series with my very good friend Steph Babies and Casual Mer. We're probably going to add a 4th player once we finish the first game.
Ooh.
Maybe we'll see how that goes. Very exciting. It's not probably the best in maybe for like what my viewers are usually used to seeing on my stream,
Sure.
because I do Final Fantasy, but I'm having a blast with Steph and Mer, and I'm hoping that people are kind of just enjoying that energy.
I literally messaged I literally messaged Normcore. I was like, we should find a game to play. Oh, let's play Borderlands. And he's like, Steph is playing it with Isnib.
Well, Pocket, if you want to join us, but
No.
you should though. Borderlands, it's a very simple
So
game, but it's
cool.
a lot of fun with
So much fun.
friends.
It's so much fun.
I'm
So much
also
fun with friends.
streaming currently Tuesdays and Wednesdays, where we're playing through the entirety of the Final Fantasy series.
Wow.
We've got up to Final Fantasy VII. We're just 2 streams into that. So yeah, come and join us. Hopefully, once I've got stuff in the background and sorting out some Discord stuff. Once that's taken care of, I hope to be streaming 4 or even 5 days a week. So there's
Yes.
plenty for us to be getting through. I've got so many old retro games, modern games, Brutal Doom, you name it, we're going to be playing it.
Brutal Doom.
So yeah,
I'm
come
in.
join us.
I'm in. Speaking of Doom, Ingle.
Well, everybody can come check me out, of course, on my channel. They can also check me out on Mondays at the CR Game Room, and sometimes on Saturdays when we do our Along Came the Commander, where I play Magic the Gathering Commander with the CR Game Room guys. But yeah, and on my channel, I'm kind of random on when I can stream. My life is kind of chaotic with my schedule right now, and my job and my family. But keep that notification on. You never know when I'm going to go on. Right now, it seems like Thursday nights are going to be kind of steady, and that's when I'm going to be doing Knights of the Old Republic. And Mondays are always a constant at the CR Game Room, where you can see me where I'm doing something either retro arcadey or something that somebody has requested me to play. So
Thursday nights EST.
definitely. Yes, Eastern Standard Time.
Okay.
So it'd be 9:30 Eastern Standard Time on Mondays, and Thursdays is usually I'm trying to keep under the same time or by 10 o'clock EST or later. So, yeah, I'm kind of a late night guy when it comes to EST, but
That's great, honestly. I mean, yeah, I'm Eastern, and I'm like, once it gets to midnight, even though I know people prefer to raid at that point, I'm like, I just want to go sleep. Just want to go sleep. In the chat, if I have one of the mods, if you don't mind shouting everyone out again, just to make sure that they have, proper representation in the channel, so that you can go and go to them, go follow these lovely people. Lee, you're the last
Hi.
one to go.
I'll follow soon. I'm Leaderpuss. Hi. I stream a variety of things during the week. So I stream one main game on Mondays, on Thursdays, and on Saturdays. I am also GMT/BST. We're in BST, I think, now because the clocks did that weird thing that they do. And I start at 8 p.m. and at the moment we're playing Resident Evil 3 Nemesis on PS1. So we're playing that at the moment, and then after that we're going to play Legend of Dragoon because I've not played that ever. On Tuesdays, we build a theme park. We play original Roller Coaster Tycoon. So we do that every Tuesday. It's super chill, and we just kind of chat and lay down some rides and paint them silly colors and give them silly names. And I put you in the park as well, so it's as interactive as I can make it. And then on Saturdays, I play something that I've played growing up. So I'm playing Banjo-Tooie at the moment. So if any of those things sound like your jam, then drop me a follow. That'd be great. I've already introduced Barry. There's also Pablo, the crocheted sausage here, because basically I'm the streamer with the pink snake and the crocheted sausage. So I'm just a big penis innuendo.
The two foul.
Yeah, and I don't think a stream goes by where we don't talk about something of that nature. So
It's very dirty in his stream.
It's a good time. Is what it is.
It's an 18+ stream, 16+ if you're British, because we all know that our sense of humor is filthy. So that's me. It'd be great to see you there.
Yes, so freaking lovely. So we are going to now do the. So first of all, thank you all for being here. Right, we're going to find someone that needs it, and we're going to raid them. But while I do that, I want to say thank you so much, Isnib, Ingle, Lee, Michelle. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to hang out with me.
My pocket.
Eternally
Thank you for having
grateful.
us. Anytime.
Yeah, I mean, thank you so much.
You
It's
all
been
are
an
obviously
honor
it's
to
been really
be
lovely.
here.
We do this once a week if we can. And now, do any of you guys have someone that would deserves the love that we should raid right now?
I'll have a look.
Yeah. Stick around for a nice raid. We'll show someone else some love. Great listening. Yes. And now I can start looking at the chat a little bit, because this is probably where I'll cut off the audio for the podcast itself. Hope thank you everyone who came by, lurking, talking, subbing. You guys are legends. Thank you so much. Let me see if I have a friend as well. Send some good people over.
Oh,
Hole's on. He's playing.
I agree with Slick there.
Ooh. What happened?
Slick and chat
Optimus?
there, Optimus.
Yes. Optimus. Let's raid Coptimus then. What's Coptimus playing?
DuckTales right now, working on his personal best.
That's amazing.
He's actually trying to speedrun DuckTales at the moment.
OG DuckTales or the remake?
Mhm.
That was $5.
No, the OG on original hardware. So he's playing on an NES. So
Legend.
Yes, yes.
Okay, Coptimus. Crime?
Yep, all one word.
I love it. Awesome. So stick around for the raid. Is it saying that it's going?
Yeah.
On your side?
Yeah.
Good, because I don't have the.
Yes, sir.
It's not showing that I can actually click the button to raid. Twitch can be super jank at times.
Oh my
yeah.
god, you've no idea. I swear.
Yeah.
That's half a dozen raids I've done.
Oh my.
Everyone's gone on the raid. I haven't gone with it. I
Yeah.
have to manually go and join.
Yeah, I always go manual.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
same.
Manual.
I've had it just say it's raiding and it doesn't raid. That's been fun. Like right now, it's
Oh,
supposed to
Twitch.
raid, but I might have to have it time out. Because right now it's like you can see I don't have any raid notification, and I specifically do it not in OBS because OBS is having it's having some trouble. It needs its time. I see a notification starting to pop up. It needs to breathe. I don't know if you guys have this as well, but my computer right before and after stream will use the bathroom. It'll blue screen right before and after.
No way.
Yeah. That's one of the reasons as well that I have you guys on a separate laptop plugged into the streaming laptop. It's so weird. Oh, okay. So I can see the timer tick down
Oh,
a little bit.
Yeah, it's going now.
I
It's
think
going.
we've gone. I think we've gone.
Are we
Yeah.
gone?
Yeah, there we are.
Yeah, we're there.
Okay, we're there.
The notifications has come in.
Okay. Then I will click stop streaming. We are there. We are there.
Yeah.
Okay.